ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वयं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने नमः। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So once again, I welcome each one of you for today's our Bhagavad Gita session. So every week on Tuesday morning, we come together and we discuss something about Bhagavad Gita. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, prbhuji. Yes, prbhuji.
So if you remember last time we were discussing about Bhagavad Gita 2.7, the second chapter, verse number 7. Anybody remember which was the verse? Please take out your Bhagavad Gita and refer. So we are discussing about 2.7. Karpanya dosho bhavata subhavah पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म समूढ़ चेता यश्रेयस निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्य हम शादि माम त्वां प्रपन्नम. So this is the verse we discussed last time, and how in this verse Arjuna voluntarily taking the position of a disciple. Previously to that, they were talking, but the talk was basically on the basis of friendship because they were of equal age, and Arjuna and Krishna are both are good friends. So talk was just like the two friends are discussing. But in this verse 2.7, the Arjuna voluntarily taking the role of a disciple. And what is happening after that? Today we'll see. So today we are discussing 2.11. Please take out your Bhagavad Gita and please repeat after me. This is 2.11. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashojananvashocastvam Pragyavadamsha Bhashase Gatasuna Agatasumsha Nanushojanti Pandita. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha अशोचानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश भाससे गतासु न अगतासुंश नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः. श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोचानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश भाससे गतासु न अगतासुंश नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः. Please somebody can repeat. Unmute yourself. I am not able to hear you. Hari bol. Unmute yourself.
श्री भगवान वाच असोच्यान्तशोषस्त्वम्
अशोचानन्वशोचस्त्वम्
प्रज्ञावादांश स्वभाषसे
प्रज्ञावादांश भाससे
गतासुंस
गतासु न अगतासुंश
जन्ति पंडितः
नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः. Yes. Somebody else?
श्री भगवान उवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
स्वच्छो स्व
अशोचान् प्रोचस्त्वम्
प्रज्ञावादश्च प्रज्ञावाद
प्रज्ञावादांश भाससे
गतासुश्च गतासु न गतासु
गतासून अगतासूंश
सन्ति पंडितः नानुशोचन्ति पंडितः
ओके वैष्णव मित्र श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोचानन्वशोचस्त्वम्
गतासु न गतासु नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः
Okay. Hare Krishna. So there was some issue, internet issue. Because of that, this thing happened. Okay. So let us go to the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Can somebody read the purport?
The
Unmute
teacher,
yourself.
audible, audible, Guruji, audible, audible, आवाज
हाँ
येत
थोड़ा
आहे?
जोरात बोला जवळ या.
Audible. समोर जाऊन तुम्ही मला वापरतो. जोर से पढ़ो. वो स्पीकर है ना उधर स्पीकर में जाके बोलना पड़ेगा. नहीं वो आएगा बाद में. हाँ बोलो.
But the Lord at once took the position of the teacher and charities the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, you are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned who and one who knows what is body and what is soul does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As explained in later chapter, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit, and the controller of the both Arjun argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or social network. But he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and super is even more important than religious formulas. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as very learned man, as he did not happy, as he did not happen to be very learned man. He was consequently laminating for something which was unworthy of lamination. The body is born and designed to be vanished today or tomorrow. Therefore, body is not as important as the soul. One who knows that is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamination, regardless of the condition of the natural material body.
Thank you, Sham Sundar Prabhu. So here, the first time Krishna, this word is coming, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So this is 2.11, but before that also in 2.2 and 2.3, after seeing the situation of Arjuna, Krishna is saying, Kutustuva Kashamalayedam Vishame Samupasthitam Anari Ajustam Aswargam Akirti Karam Arjuna. So this is not the first time Krishna is speaking. This is actually second time Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. But previously this in 2.2 and 2.3, the talk is based on the friendship. But here up to 2.7, Arjuna is taking a position of a disciple. And therefore in 2.10, the very beautiful verse comes and that says, here Krishna is smiling. Tamuvacha Rishikesha Prahasanniva Bharata Senoyor Ubhayor Mathe Vishidantam Idam Vachaha. So our Acharya explains Prahasanniva means Krishna is smiling. So our Acharyas give commentary why Krishna is smiling. Now Krishna is smiling because Arjuna voluntarily had taken the position of a disciple. And now in this relation of guru and disciple, Krishna can chastise Arjuna. And now Arjuna is ready to take that chastisement because now he is in the mood of a disciple. Previously, the talk was based on the friendship. And you must be having many friends. When the two friends are talking, they never take each other very seriously. Right? Often we take our friends very granted. अरे यार दोस्त ने बोला है उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है ना? So we never take them as seriously. So therefore, in the 2.10, Krishna is smiling. And here in 2.11, officially, Krishna is now instructing Arjuna. And therefore, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, Krishna is chastising Arjuna. कठोर शब्दों में अर्जुन का भर्त्सना कर रहे अर्जुन की. Then the translation is saying, because Arjuna is giving many reasons for not fighting this war. So if you remember, we had discussed some reasons. Today also, once again, just go through those reasons. The first reason, Arjuna has given a compassion. His compassion by seeing all his family members. So this was the first reason given by Arjuna. That is compassion. Daya. Being a devotee of Krishna, being a dharmic person, it was natural for Arjuna to show compassion. So therefore, for not fighting the Kurukshetra battle, this was the first reason given by Arjuna. Out of compassion, I do not want to fight this war. And in this section, today, from 2.11 till verse number 30, Krishna is going to explain how this reason of Arjuna is not proper. Krishna is going to destroy all the doubts regarding the compassion which Arjuna is showing. In general, compassion is a good quality. But where and to whom you are showing that compassion, it is also important. So here Krishna starts speaking and Krishna is chastising Arjuna. Basically, Krishna is saying, you are talking like a wise person. एक बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति जैसे आप बात कर रहे हैं, एक लर्नेड व्यक्ति जैसे आप बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आपके जो एक्शंस है वो उससे मैच नहीं कर पा रहे. That means his words and his actions are not matching. And this is the first lesson Krishna wanted to give through Arjuna. You are speaking like a wise person, but you are not acting as a wise person. Just let us take an example to understand this. Suppose there is a famous drama actor who can mimic anybody exactly. So suppose he is memorized some learned, he got a book from a thinker and he is studying that book, and from that book he memorized something and he is presenting the words of that thinker on the stage in front of everybody. But just by speaking those words, that actor does not become a thinker. He's an actor. He is just repeating those words. But he does not he does not possess that wisdom. So therefore, it is important. So similarly here, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are speaking like a wise person because whatever the reasons Arjuna has given, it was according to the religious principle, and Arjuna is saying, I have heard this from the Shastras. So what was the reason given by Arjuna? First reason was compassion. Out of compassion, I do not want to fight this war. The second reason Arjuna has given, loss of enjoyment. You are saying, after this battle, I am going to be the king. But what is the use of being a king and having this much opulence? Because I don't have anybody to share with this. If nobody is there to share, how I am going to enjoy? Because it's natural for us when we want to enjoy, we want to share whatever we have. With whom? With our near one and dear ones. And in this battle of Kurukshetra, my dear ones, my family members are going to die. and then what is the use of gaining that kingdom? This was the second reason given by Arjuna. What was the third reason? Fear of sinful activity, sinful reaction rather than. So Arjuna is saying, if I engage in this battle of Kurukshetra, I am going to incur a lot of sinful reaction. बहुत सारा पापों का भागी में बनूंगा, because so many people, so many soldiers are going to die in this battle of Kurukshetra. So many uh, small children, they will be fatherless. So many ladies, they will be husbandless, and I will be the cause of this. So बहुत बड़े पापों का मैं भागी बनूंगा. So therefore, I do not want to fight this battle of Kurukshetra. What was the fourth reason? So destruction of family tradition. So Arjuna is saying, in this war, so many young soldiers, so many soldiers are going to die, and the ladies are going to be unprotected. And the so-called people in the uh, our society, they are going to take undue advantage of their situation. And therefore, there will be born of a Varna Sankara. Unwanted progeny will be there. And because of that, the family tradition, the Vansh Parampara will going to be destroyed. So therefore, I do not want to fight this war. So in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun gives this four reason, and in the second chapter, verse number 2.6, he gives the fifth reason, and that is indecision. Because the situation is I have no choice, and whether I should withdraw from this war. This is called indecision. He is not able to take any decision. So these are the five reasons given by Arjuna. So if we see in one sense, these reasons are all looks like a very good reasons. And therefore Krishna is saying to Arjuna, you are speaking like a learned man. But your words and your actions are not matching. Basically, you are not walking your talk. In English, there is saying, walk your talk. That means whatever you are speaking, you should act according to that also. If somebody is just speaking and not acting upon it, so we call such a person a hypocrite. So, what is worthy of lamentation and not? Where is according to our according to a person's wisdom and maturity? Very nice line. Prabhupada is saying, what is worthy of lamentation and what is not? Where is according to a person's wisdom and maturity? And we see, can somebody tell me what are the cases? Who are the people, basically, who are the fathers who lost their sons in the battle of Kurukshetra? Can you give me some example? A father who lost their son in the battle of Kurukshetra. Yes, our Prabhu Sagar Prabhu is saying Dhritarashtra. He lost his sons. Okay. Any other example? Father example who lost his Raja. He also lost his son. One more good example is there.
Dronacharya.
Yes, Harshal Prabhu is saying Dronacharya. That is a perfect. I was looking for that answer. Dronacharya. So here we can see example. And Arjuna also lost his did after the battle, after before the battle only. The battle was going on, and Abhimanyu lost his life. So the sentence just we heard, what is the worthy of lamentation and what is not? Where is according to a person's wisdom and maturity. So here we have example of three fathers. Arjuna, his father, Dhritarashtra, his father, and Dronacharya. Three of them lost their sons. But the reactions, how they respond to the situation It's very amazing. So when Arjuna lost his son, Arjuna is also lamenting. Arjuna is crying, and Krishna is not saying, "Arey Arjun, what are you doing? Don't you heard the knowledge of soul?" In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I elaborately explain about the knowledge about soul. That soul is avinashi, soul is eternal. Then why you are crying? No, Krishna doesn't say like that, because it's natural for a father to cry over the death of his sons. It's natural. And therefore Krishna is not stopping. Krishna is not an impractical God. But what Arjuna did after that, it is not that Arjuna is lamenting continuously and he gives up his action. Being a Kshatriya, being a fighter, he is not leaving his duty. Immediately after that crying, Arjuna gets, and he is again ready to fight for the pleasure of Krishna, for the establishment of Dharma. He is not running away from his duty. What is the use of you are on my side, you are having, you are on my side, still I lost my son. Arjuna never accuses Krishna. Arjuna is never blaming Krishna. Oh my lord, what is going on? What is the use of your being my friend? No, Arjuna is not accusing. This was the reaction of Arjuna. What was the reaction of Dhritarashtra? Dhritarashtra also lost his son. But when the Pandavas are coming back as a victorious and they are taking blessing from Dhritarashtra because he was a current king and a victorious party has to take blessing. He was king, not only he was a king, but he also uncle of Pandavas. So therefore, all the Pandavas are taking blessing from Dhritarashtra. But what is going on in the mind of Dhritarashtra? Dhritarashtra could not forgive Bhima. And he was now thinking, when Bhima will come to meet, I will embrace Bhima in such a way that Bhima will lost his life. So Dhritarashtra is planning to kill Bhima. This is the reaction of Dhritarashtra after losing his son. Okay, the third father, Dronacharya. Can somebody tell me what was the reaction of Dronacharya when he heard the news of his sons being dead in the war? Yes, our Bhavesh Prabhu is, I am sitting in our base here, in KM base, and he is saying, the moment Dronacharya heard that his son is dead, the, he gave up all his desire to fight. He immediately, instantly, he dropped out all his weapons and he sat in Samadhi. And his son has the boon of being a Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi means one who doesn't have death, one who has conquered death. So Ashwatthama has a boon that he is a Chiranjeevi. But still, when the Dronacharya heard the news that Ashwatthama Hataha, actually there was an elephant in the army, and the Dronacharya was fighting like very dangerously, and he was killing the millions of soldiers on the side of Pandavas. And by seeing this fighting spirit of Dronacharya, Krishna is saying, anyhow you have to stop this fellow. If you don't stop him, then he is going to kill everybody on the side of Pandavas. So by any means, we have to stop him. So what is the solution? How we can stop a Dronacharya? So that time Krishna is telling, because Dronacharya is so much attached to his son, somehow you have to convince him that his son is dead. So who will do this task? Somebody on whom Dronacharya has a full faith. If Bhima says कि अश्वत्थामा हतः, अश्वत्थामा को मैंने मार दिया, so द्रोणाचार्य may or may not believe in the words of Bhima. What if Arjuna says, still there is a chance that Dronacharya may or may not believe. But if Yudhishthir Maharaj, who is a Dharma Raj, who is a Yamaraj himself, who had never spoken a lie in his life, if such a person is saying that Ashwathama Hataha, Hata means dead, then Dronacharya will sure believe in the word of Yudhishthir Maharaj. But Yudhishthir Maharaj is saying, how can I speak lie? Because I am a Dharmaraj. I can't speak a lie. So Krishna is saying, okay, no problem. So there was an elephant named Ashwathama. So Krishna instructed Bhima, go and kill that elephant. And now he is telling Yudhishthir, now you can speak that Ashwathama Ataha. And then Yudhishthir Maharaj says in front of Dronacharya, Ashwathama Hataha Narova Kunjava. The second line is, I don't know whether it is a man or it is an elephant. But when there was a time that Yudhishthira is about to speak a second line, Narova Kunjarova. Krishna blew his conch-shells Panchajana in such a loud way that Dronacharya could not heard only. He didn't heard that what was the second line. He just heard the first line, Ashwathama Hataha. And by hearing that line, Dronacharya thought, my son is dead. Then what is the point of living now? What is the point of fighting the battle? And because in this way he give up the desire to fight. And then Drishtadumna, the son of Draupadi, brother of Draupadi, he has taken a vow. The very purpose of his birth was to kill Dronacharya. Drishtadumna comes ahead and he behead Dronacharya. And our Acharya says, after this incident, the Yudhishthira Maharaj, whose chariot used to fly from the earth, came down. Why? Because he denied, he hesitated to follow the word of Krishna. When Lord himself is telling you something, and here Yudhishthira is hesitating to follow that. Therefore, our Acharya says, because of this reason, the chariot of the Yudhishthira Maharaj came down. So here we saw the example of three fathers, and three of them are lamenting, but there is a lot of difference between them. Arjuna is also lamenting, but Arjuna didn't give up his duty of fighting. Dronacharya is also lamenting, but he completely gave up his duty of fighting. And Dhritarashtra is also lamenting, but he is unable to forgive the virtuous Pandavas. His sons, he lost his sons, but Bhima was not the reason. His own sons and their activity are responsible for their fate. Bhima was not responsible. Bhima was just an instrument of karma. So this is the reason. So therefore, what we grieve over reveals the level of our consciousness. हम किस चीज का पश्चाताप करते, किस चीज के बारे में हम शोक करते हैं, किसके आधार पर निश्चित है, हमारे चेतना के स्तर के ऊपर. So Arjuna's consciousness was different, Dhritarashtra's consciousness was different, and Dronacharya's consciousness was altogether different. तो इसलिए in our life also, on what, with what, for which purpose we are lamenting, it differs based on our consciousness. So here Krishna is basically asking three questions to Arjuna. First is you have double standard. Arjuna is having double standard. He is speaking something, but he is not acting like that. Then Krishna is saying you are being a hypocrite. Hypocrite means he is speaking, but he is not following that. And third, you are not walking your talk. So we can apply these three principles in our life also. In our we say, "Lalit, stop for such a person can worship such a person." And everybody trust this kind of person. So in your life also, in our professional life also, in our today you are students, some of you are working. So we can apply this principle of talking our talk. What you are speaking, you need to act accordingly. Otherwise, no will be believe. No one will trust you. You will lose your trust very soon. You must have heard that story in our childhood. You must have that story. There was a one fellow, and he was having many ships with him, a goat and ships. And whenever he just thought, uh, let me just annoy this farmer here who is staying nearby. So he used to shout, "Arey, there is a tiger! There is a tiger! Please come and save my sheep, save my goats!" And the people started running there, and they saw there is no tiger here. And this fellow started laughing. See how I make fun of everybody. The second time, after some days, he again thought of making fun of everybody, and he started his climb upon the tree, and he's shouting, "Arey, there is a tiger! There is a tiger! He's eating my sheep! Please come, save me, help me!" And by hearing his shout, everybody, all the farmers nearby, they comes, and again there was no tiger, and this fellow is laughing. So this was the second time. After some days, third time. Now this time there was actual tiger, and the fellow is climbing upon a tree and he's shouting, "There is a tiger! This time there is a real tiger! Please come, help me, help me." What do you think? What will happen? This time nobody turned up because everybody thought, "Arey, this person is just speaking." Because everybody lost their trust in this fellow, in this person, and therefore nobody turns up. And what is the fate? He lost all his ships, all his goods. So this should not happen with us. So therefore, here is a practical lesson in our life that Krishna is telling to Arjuna. We should walk our talk. Here we are speaking. We should follow that also. And what's the worthy of lamentation? Basically, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you're talking about losing this body. Arjuna is showing the compassion for the bodies of his relatives. But in further verses, Krishna is not going to speak the science of soul. How the soul, the eternal soul, is always there. There is no need to lament about the soul. And Arjuna is lamenting for the body. And body is going to be destroyed anyway. Whatever you do, body is going to be destroyed today or tomorrow. Okay? So another example Srila Prabhupada gives many times about lamentation. What is worthy of lamentation and what is not? You must have seen there are a small when they go to play on the beach, there is a lot of sand on the beach, and they make a castle out of that sand. And what happens when there is a waves of the ocean? That sand castle is destroyed, and the children start lamenting. Oh, my father! Oh, dear mother! We invested so much of our time for building this sand castle, and what is happening? So children are crying, they are lamenting, but the elderly people they don't cry, they don't lament because they know the children are lamenting, but that thing is not worth of lamentation. isn't it? Similarly, in our life also, we should remember what are the things which are worthy of lamentation, and what are those things which are unworthy of lamentation, based on the wisdom, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Because most of the time we also, as Arjuna here, lamenting for unworthy things, we also lament for unworthy things. Sometimes we lost our mobile. I'm not saying it is unworthy. Sometimes we lost our relationship because of speaking harsh word. So there are many things and people in our life, but we should be very concerned, very thoughtful about we are lamenting for what? The temporary things or the permanent things. We have our spiritual duty and we have our worldly duties. It is called Deha Dharma. Relation with this body, we have so many responsibilities. But for our soul, we have also a responsibility. So if you are concerned about our bodily and worldly duties, and if you are not concerned about your soul, the duty of soul, the spiritual duty, then that is wrong. And therefore, time and again, our scriptures, Lord here in the sages are telling, you should lament for which is really worthy. And you should not lament such a thing where unworthy, which are unworthy of lamentation. Okay, so we'll stop here. I once again thank each one of you. So just a short recap what we discussed today. This is the first time Krishna is instructing Arjuna. Before that, the talk was based on the relations of friendship. At 2.10, Krishna is smiling because now Arjuna had taken the position of a disciple. And then we saw the analogy about the sand castles. What is worthy of lamentation and what is unworthy of lamentation? Because the elderly people knows that children are crying, but that is not worthy of lamentation. Similarly, in our life also, we should be very concerned about what we are lamenting and what we are not. Our spiritual duty are also important. We are not saying that our material duties, Deha Dharma, is not important. Yes, that is important, but that is not all in all. There is something called spiritual duty also. Then we saw that example of three fathers, how three of them are lamenting, and we saw famous line, what is worthy of lamentation? It varies according to our person's wisdom and maturity. So three fathers we saw, and we saw Arjuna is mature enough that he keep aside his lamentation and he resumes his duty. Dhritarashtra, he was also lamenting, but he could not forgive Bhima. And the Dronacharya, he completely gave up his dharma, his duty of fighting. And by this example, we can understand who was mature enough, who was a who was having the wisdom. And the principle we learned from the we should walk our talk. Otherwise, we will be like that situation of that person who is keep on lying, and everybody is losing their faith. And when the real time comes, nobody is there to help him. So in our life also, if you follow this principle, walking our talk, you will be okay. I will stop here. If anybody has any question, any clarification, you can ask. So once again, I request kindly memorize these verses. Whatever we are discussing, you have a time of 7 days before the next class. So at least you can go through this verse, memorize this verse. Hmm? That will be very beneficial to you. Okay? Yes, Sagar Prabhu, Bhavesh Prabhu, Sujal Prabhu. Any question? Any clarification? Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय.